Coming to you live from beautiful Clearwater, Florida, in the heart of Pinellas County. It's Monday night Car Stereo Talk with your hosts, Dean and Fernando. Welcome to the shows, boys and girls. And how's everybody doing today on this beautiful Monday? Fernando?
Oh, I mean, with that intro, that was fantastic.
I know. I've wanted to try that. First off, I'd also like to say that there's no way that these things hold 24 bottles of water worth of flavoring. I mean, maybe if you're just supposed to like get a hint, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, let's start out the show right away. I want to tell you guys, first off, sorry about not being here Saturday.
What do you mean not being here?
We didn't do a show Saturday. We were here.
We were here
rather late. The easiest thing to say is that, you know, if you caught the 911 last week or this morning and watched it, it was a fantastic experience. We hope you guys really enjoyed us doing a how the day goes on. And the best thing to tell you is that the stuff that we didn't film, such as the laser braking and a lot of time that we spent dealing with things like that, really put us behind for the week. And the cars didn't get any better, to say the least. And so we ended up working here Saturday night till about 8 o'clock. Was the last, in which I don't like doing.
It was 8:30.
So we made the call when we got done, because both of us were not the most happy of people at the time, that it's like, yeah, let's just skip the show, because we wouldn't be pleasant company at that point. So it happens. But hey, we're sorry. But tonight is a different story. Yeah. We get to answer your questions. We get to have a bunch of fun. Before we dig deep into that, and I would like to say, good job, Frank. Good evening, Pizza Dave from Vermont. I'm going to have pizza tonight. Listen to this first question. Would you be able to tell me which episode or where I heard you talk about the inputs on the PSM Pro, something about red not always being the positive on the input RCAs? I don't know. Red not always being... Well, red would be right. White would be left. But as far as on an RCA, the center pin is positive. The shield is always negative. Now, if you're going high level, then you have solid colors, negative colors, and that's a whole nother category because you're going high level. So you could run into any scenario there. Just so they all match. Who cares? Anyways, moving on. Dave. Dave says, hi, Frank.
What's up?
Evening, Ken. Evening, Jody. What's up? Moving down here. Single-digit temperatures in the Twin Cities.
That's crazy.
That's all you, bro. I yuck. And then, of course, Mr. Brad.
Good evening.
Checking in from sunny Modesto. Probably has a jacket on. My Arc Audio jacket is sitting over there because it did warm up today. So far this season, only about 8 inches of snow. Most of it should be gone by Friday. Then the big cold snap comes down from Canada. Well, I guess Canada's got to be good for something. Danny, good evening from freezing Chicago at 16 degrees. Listen, here's the thing, guys.
That's crazy.
My heart goes out to you. It really does, because you're doing something I could never do. I've done it. I did it for 10 years, and I will never do it again. And that is live any place where the snow falls from the sky. It's just... Yeah. Cuddy checking in from PA. What's up? Buenos tardes.
Buenos tardes.
Hold on. Buenos tardes, muchachos. Anyways, as good as it's going to get for right now.
Okay.
So get your questions in. We got lots of time tonight to dig through these questions. But before we dig into those, brought to you by the fine folks at Kenwood Car Stereo. That's right. Kenwood, who, if you haven't been playing at home or paying attention from home, and what week? 2.5, 3 weeks, and 3 short weeks, 2 weeks and a couple days, we'll be unveiling the game-changing product that we've only been talking about for the last 6 months. We'll be doing that live for you guys to see and hear and be excited about. We'll be teaching some classes on it. We'll have some videos up for you to see what is coming, but it's coming. But in the meantime, make sure to head over to their site because they do have some new Exelon products along the way. But let me go here. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah,
I got it.
No, it's still, you gotta hide current comment. There we go. This week's, who do we have?
We have Christian
All right.
from Nola Arozan.
From where?
Nola.
Nola?
It's like New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Yeah. I love making fun of Christian. This isn't a Chevy? I feel like this isn't a Chevy.
I think it's a Chevy, yes. But,
wow.
It's one amplifier.
You got T-harnesses right there.
But it's clean.
It's very
you
clean.
have your inputs.
Yeah.
Of course, with the laser, I like that. When you have that plaque.
Oh, the plaque?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks nice, and you have
RC
the distribution
inputs.
block for the older amplifier and everything. It's nice.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. It's funny. Yeah, I've been doing a couple of those plaques, but I never write anything on them. I don't know why. I guess I just never thought it would make any sense. Javier Gutierrez, a.k.a. Junior. What is up, my friend?
That's Dad or that's Junior?
Javier. I think that's Junior.
That will be
the
Dad.
Picture looks like Junior. Either way.
You guys got to put Junior or
I got Santa Ana Winds over here.
Oof. Hopefully everything is okay, man.
Well, I thought Lance was down over by Disney, which is farther out of L.A.
Yeah, that would be
that's
4 or 5 hours.
No. That's like an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
Yeah. L.A. Disney.
LA.
Anaheim is like
This
here's
side.
L.A. So here's L.A. and Anaheim is like over here somewhere. I've driven it. It sucks on the 405, but anyways, hey fellas,
what's up, Daniel?
Hope I get back to Clearwater soon. Well, the weather's beautiful. This is the best part of the weather for sure. But we've got questions. You guys get your questions in.
Happy Tuesday.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna start out the show with. So I made some new banners because I've been trying to find time to do this, and I finally got some time. So we're gonna start out this first portion of the show with our good friends at Arc Audio. Oh my gosh! If you want the best in class of DSP with multi-channel amplifiers built inside, or if you just like standalone DSP, we got announcements coming. Oh, I almost forgot. We do, but we can't tell you yet. But stay tuned. Head over to arcaudio.com and keep an eye on what's coming and going. But if you're looking to get one of my favorite amplifiers, the Blackbird. That's right, 8 channels. It's what we call it 8 to 12. 8 channels of DSP. 8 channels of power with 12 channels of DSP, 8 of which are built into the amplifier as 4 RC outputs to move on to it. And of course, one of the things that I absolutely love about this, which is hilarious, is the up mixer built inside of it to add that rear sound effect that you guys love so much. Makes it sound like you're listening to sound in your living room. Oh, speaking of that, I was listening to the sound in my living room yesterday while I was doing all this work, and my home receiver is capable, which I'm surprised I didn't know this, is capable of changing the audio presets. So like it'll switch from 2-channel stereo to Atmos to surround mode all on its own, depending on what song it's playing off of Apple TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was freaking me out because like it would just be up front and then a song that was recorded in Atmos, the rear speakers would kick on, and I'd be like, what the frick is going on? It was so weird. But
there's a smart module connected in there.
Yes, he lives in Huntington Beach, which is not far from Disney.
Perfect.
I only know that because we talked about it one time when he was over here and he was trying to tell me where it was at. And I was like, well, next time I'm over, I won't come over. What's up, y'all? Finally catching the live show.
Hey, well, thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. As before stated, if you want, at arcaudio.com, please head over and check them out. The Blackbird is awesome. Many not.
My or my not.
Yeah, wow.
10 rears. What
Still
did you rate it?
Dude.
Many?
I saw many.
It's still good. Upgrade dash. And front sub.
Yeah. So with the up mixer that's built into it, you can also do center channel and left and right. So it's got a 5.1 up mixer in it that you can do. So it's pretty cool. And it has super bass, which is not for bass; it's for mid range. So we always run our mid bass through there.
Dude, those rear effects are crazy.
Yes.
When I was like, what?
Dude, it's so loud.
Hang on, what?
So loud, dude. The Raptor.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the rears are so loud.
But you get
it doesn't screw anything up.
Really cool.
It's really neat.
Really cool.
I mean, to them, it's a communist plot, and they're never going to do that. Does Mosconi DSP Atmos 4 to 6 have jumpers? And also, my Access Ethernet won't connect to Bluetooth. I already connected the harness, plugged it back in, still didn't connect. I believe the jumpers are all on the outside of it.
The new one, yes.
Well, no, that's the Atomo. Well, no, that's the Atomo. You're thinking of the Pico. It's in the inside. You're thinking of the Pico.
I have the Atomo.
Are there jumpers on the inside?
It's jumpers on the inside, yes.
Okay, so if it's an older one. The other thing, too, is if you're trying to use the Access DSP, you got to be Android. So if you're not using an Android trying to connect over an iPhone, you might be running into issues there. But yeah, because like we had to go get, I didn't buy it. Actually, somebody gave it to me, an Android tablet to do those. So those are really the only two weird things that we've ran into. But what were the jumpers for though? High level, low level?
High level, low level, and voltage.
What you mean by voltage?
Like I think it's like a 4-volt.
Well, that's going to be your input voltage.
Yes.
So that's high level and low level. It's the same thing. So high level and low level input voltage.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
About 4 to 6, I think it's like, if you go into the
owner's manual?
Into the owner's manual, it tells you.
Which you can download from Gladen.com.
Yes.
So Gladen.com will have all the current owner's manuals. Okay. Taco Bell has rear effect, not the kind you like. Oh, no doubt. I had Taco Bell last week.
You did?
No, week before. The week before I had Taco Bell.
I haven't had Taco Bell in years.
It tastes the same. Really? There's no difference.
There's no difference?
No, there's no difference at all. I mean, I'm boring. When I go to Taco Bell, I just get chicken hard tacos and a bean burrito.
But what I tried, and it was been a long time, we used to order the sandwiches.
They make sandwiches?
No, not from Taco Bell. From here, remember? What is the place?
Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's.
Yes.
Yes.
What about it?
Well, I mean,
you haven't had it. We haven't since they went out of business.
They closed.
We haven't had it.
They don't went out of business. They just closed over here.
Right, but the other one is down up in Palm Harbor.
Yeah, so I went over there.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, I still like Jimmy John's. It's the turkey sandwich to me is still one of the best. But
2020 Corolla bass audio, non-JBL, 6 speakers. Should I do a kicker key first on the stock speakers and run with that for a while, or change the speakers first? This is a low budget build. Okay, so any Toyota, I mean, for that matter, almost any car, but specifically the Toyota. If you're going to do DSP, meaning you're going to want to put something in that has time alignment or anything like that, which a kicker key would have time alignment and equalization, you have to fix the factory signal first, because that is going to have all pass filters in it, and those all pass filters are going to make the center channel sound it's just not going to sound right. You'll be like, what the? Okay, so on all those pieces, please put a key lock in there first to do the de-equalization. So just do it off the front 2 channels, key lock into the front 2 channels, and then you can go into your kicker key next. Now, I would recommend doing what we call a front stage upgrade, meaning put your small speakers, the 2.5s or the tweeters, whatever's in the dash on channels 1 and 2, and then channels 3 and 4 on the mid bass and the doors. It's easy enough to do. That is going to give you optimum sound performance, and who cares about the rears? Just turn them down. You're not going to, if you get the front stage nice and loud, the rears, you could just fade it and have them put out a little bit of sound, make everybody happy. But if you decide differently, you want a key lock. You got to put a key lock in first to fix all the nonsense so that you can then use the key and get the full benefit of it. Now, as far as whether you want to put it on your factory speakers first, that's entirely up to you. Keep in mind, if you do, you're going to have to re-EQ it when you get new speakers, because
EQs and listens to the speakers. You won't have to redo the key lock settings. Those are fine. Those will stay the same, but you will have to re-EQ it if you change the speakers. Dougie! Number 4, Turkey Tom. Yes, with extra lettuce.
I like Beach Club.
The Beach Club is good.
That was really good. Yes.
Oh, it's the nightclub.
No, that was Beach Club.
There's a Beach Club? Well, there's the Italian nightclub, which is really good.
Yeah. No, the nightclub that's on Saturdays.
Yeah, well, that's like, you also need to take like a nap. Talking about Blackbird has me considering doing away with the VXI 8 channel. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go for it. Looking for an interface for a 23 charger. Will the Amp Pro work?
So 2023.
Yeah, that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
A version of the Amp Pro will work on a 2023 charger, amplified or non-amplified. Correct.
Go to packaudio.com.
Pack-audio.com. Yep.
Yeah,
but yes. Yeah, they make an updated version of them. So there's several different versions of GM, but when you type in your make, model, and year, it'll give you, pardon me, the right one to purchase. So yeah.
All right. Joel asked a question that is probably going to involve everyone in here.
Who did?
You guys.
What's his name?
Joel.
Joel?
Joel.
Joel. You can be whatever you want.
Joel.
I thought you said like, oh, well.
Joel.
Joel?
There you go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
In your opinion, which car audio company has the best logo? Ooh.
Here we go. All right, come on, guys.
All right, so, wow, way to really slow the show down.
I know, but this is really cool.
All right, so there's a lot to this, okay? Because for the first 22 years of my career, I was doing fab work, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that always bugged me was some of the brands we carried had the worst logos known to man.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get excited when someone would bring in a logo that was really nice. So our store logo was AVE. So we ended up putting that in everything. But like we sold Image Dynamic, crappy logo.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond Audio, the Moon, crappy logo. When we finally got Rockford Fosgate, I was super excited because that RF was really cool. And at the time, JL also had that really cool logo, that did the little thing. I really liked that. And then when we got Kicker, I learned how to draw the Kicker K in my sleep. One of the things I learned from this, though, was you have to have a cool logo.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I designed the 5-star logo, I made it cool and easily replicatable and something you could put on everything as opposed to letters and all this stuff. Now, when we designed Smash Force Productions, not so much the case, but we knew we'd never really be doing anything with that. Other than like putting it on a jacket or something. But I wanted people to it even still has a camera in it, so you get what it is.
All right. So with all that,
with
which
all
one
that in
is
mind, I want to go with Rockford Fosgate. Still kicks ass.
I would say yes. I would keep the Rockford just because it's an art. It's readable. It's like right in your brain. Like you see Rockford. Yeah. Art and is like, I know what is Rockford.
I think Rockford has always nailed it. Won the award for just having the most kick-ass logo.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Melissa, did you ever email me? I don't remember seeing your email.
Well, Melissa,
Focal has the best brand. Okay, wait.
Focal has the best logo brands.
So there again, back then Focal didn't exist. In the little Focal whatever thingy. It's nowadays there's a lot of cool logos. Okay, like that are easily replicable. Replicatable. Focal looks really nice. I like when we do the little Focal logo up on the Ford, where the BO logo is.
Yeah, but for example, like I have
really
a problem for that because it's like if you're not a car audio guy, you don't know what is that.
Yeah.
Right? Like
as far as recognizability.
What is that? Like it's a wave?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, no, you're right. For sure.
But no, I like the Weeby lines or whatever it is.
But no, I still think as far as easy to reproduce, really clean look, I think Rockford always.
MTX is cool.
No, it is, but it's still not as easy as Rockford and as recognizable.
Anyone?
I mean, and I had Orion, and we used to put that moon on everything.
Yeah, Orion, like
that one was
nice,
easy. Dude. That was literally draw a circle with a bunch, and then do the
just
thing,
lines.
and then, you could like, I had a template.
JL has
like
it
I said, and
too.
the
like,
JL
boom.
with the this that they did.
What?
Well, you had the J and then you had
like
the L.
gang signs, bro.
What's up, JL in the house? Back then it was an easy there again, really easy to replicate, but still, I think I still think the coolest one was Rockford.
Yeah. Okay.
And speaking of Focal,
Precision Power. Okay.
I didn't think they had a good logo. Okay, Brad, I know I gotta call you. I forgot to email Dean as well. Well, so Melissa, if you call Brad, then you won't have to email me. But either way, speaking of Focal, Melissa, have you heard of this brand? Do you want that cool Focal swoosh in your car? Do you want that amazing sizzle, that tick, that's right. Focal does it better than anybody else. And you don't have to spend a ton of money to do it. You have the Auditor line of products out there. They're just waiting for you to take a sample, take a listening. We had them in Haley's car for a very long time, and she actually wants them back. She's like, Dad, can we take out the current system and put the other stuff back in? So she really enjoyed those a lot. And if you, like Haley, would like to enjoy your sound system, but also be reasonable about it, I mean, you can go full K2. There's no reason not to, but head over to focal-america.com to check out what could be in your car next.
Boom.
I have a 6903 front stage and want to add an amplifier. Would you go XR401 for more power or kicker key DSP? I would do the kicker key DSP without a doubt. If we're talking, all right, so without knowing anything else in the system, if we're just talking straight power, the key 200.4, yeah, it's got DSP. It's going to do surround. It's going to do all that cool stuff. So yeah, I would definitely do that. Would you concur?
Dude. Yes, 100%. 100%.
So
yes.
There you go.
I like that one. That was cool.
Focal logo looks like a tornado. Their sound would blow you away. Oh, Fang, that was.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. I'm gonna have to ask the French one day what the heck. Yeah.
It was just the flag waving.
Yeah. Hold on. Do all GMC trucks use most bus systems? Yeah. That's the joy of it. Kind of sucks. I have a CT5. What's a CT5?
Corvette.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Would you direct me on a full integration harness or where to find? I loved your video on the CT5. Is that a Miata?
I don't think so. CT5.
I feel like a CT5 is a Miata. I feel like that's a
What's a CT5? Oh, a Cadillac.
Cadillac. See, I gotta be honest. I put it right out of my
Mazda.
Well, because it was a CT5. Remember, because we thought it was a TTS.
Like Corvette. We're not even close,
we originally thought it was a
close.
Yeah, look at Doug. Doug's like, Cadillac CT5.
The guy's just like,
yeah.
And you guys work on cars?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I hate Cadillacs. I'm not a
bro.
Cadillac guy. So what was the question again?
CT5. A harness.
I
have a CT5 right there.
Yeah.
I have a CT5. Will you direct me for a full integration harness on where to find?
So we had to custom make our harness from the pack harness. So we just took the pack harness and repinned it and moved it around. But it's either going to be pack or Metra, and they'll make the plugs. You might have to do some rewiring.
I can see Doug in the other side, like, dude, it's a Cadillac.
It's a Cadillac, bro. Because that one, because the CT5 that we had was bass amplified, and that means that head unit was variable voltage out, which was incredibly cool because that car is based off of the Camaro, which does that for some dumb reason, which was really cool. So we just had to make a new harness. But
see, I was not that far.
What?
Camaro, Corvette.
Yeah, you were
Cadillac.
close. Yeah, it all starts with a C. But anyways, we brought in the pack harness and made our own interface.
Yeah.
So there isn't anybody that just makes one that you can buy. Sorry.
Okay.
What best logo is Sony Explode? Oh, that's terrible. That's too funny. You guys are bad.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a weird name.
How do you update the High 10 if it's already installed in my Jeep JL? There's times that I start up the Jeep, and when I put Jeep in drive, the reverse camera on the High 10 comes up on the screen. All of it is done through the USB. So you have your USB adapters that you should have installed. And one of those, you're going to download an update to a thumb drive and plug it in, and it's going to update the unit. That's how you do them. We don't pull these units out to update them. It's just all done through. And if on their website, they should have a step-by-step how to update it, which I believe they do. It's very confusing, and it might actually it's in the owner's manual that you can download. I think the back half of the owner's manual talks all about doing the update process in it. Now, keep in mind, depending on how old your High 10 is, there might be no update for it. So unless it's an older unit, but they're again done through the USB input.
Okay, so hang on.
Yeah. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hey, right there.
I was going to say, how did you miss that one?
No, I haven't. It's just like it's a lot of.
It's huge. Hey, Dean and Fernando, I have a situation in a classic car. Yeah, there you go. The problem. Where I can fit full-size 4-inch speakers in the dash and tweeters in the pillars, and want to add a 6.5-inch carbon nano mid-bass to make a 3-way set fully active, or would you recommend just doing with the entire carbon nano set? It's an 80s Mercedes SL convertible.
Where the 4-inch.
So the reality is you'd be better off just doing the full carbon nano 3-way set. It plays well together. Sometimes when you start changing out parts, you're not going to get the results you were hoping for, and you're going to end up having to move the crossover points anyways. So I would just do the full carbon 3-way set active, get a nice 8-channel amp with the DSP, hook it all up, and call it a day. That set works really well, pairs up all nice together. If you were like, hey, no, I really want to go with a 4-inch, then I would look at the Morel makes a 4-inch set of components as well as coaxials in the hybrid line. Uh-huh. So you can do the hybrid 4-inch components and then the 6-inch mid bass. But I still think you'd be better off just doing the 3-way set and calling it a day. But that's my opinion. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yes, he probably wants the nanos because of the depth in the installation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you put the crossover on the Maximal Ultra 6x9 in a 3-way front stage? It really just depends on what mid-range you're going with. Are you going with their dome mid-range, or are you going with a bigger mid-range? So typically somewhere around between 350 and 400. 24 dB Linkwitz Riley up and down would probably be your best bet. But there again, it just depends on your mid-range. I would start higher, a higher number just to be safe, but it just depends. Plus, it also depends on the location of the mid-range. Is it up high in the dash? Is the tweeter next to it? So Morel's kind of picky. However, if you're really that interested in what you should do, give Casey a call at Morel. The number is on, and they'll help you. Man.
Morel America.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I call them all the time.
I totally got that wrong.
What?
When he said, "Where will you put the crossover on the Maximal Ultra?" I was like, I would not put it inside the door.
Oh yeah, don't put the crossover in the door for sure.
Yeah,
put it on the DSP amplifier in the trunk.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Audio Dynamic DSP any good? Looking to do a budget build in a 2010 Acura TL. So, all right, budget build. All right. Okay. So, here's the thing. I understand the concept of a budget build. I really do. But let's break this down for a minute and let's talk about a budget build. Okay, so retail on a Blackbird I think is like $1,500. Okay, it's like $1,550 maybe. Okay, so $1,500. All right, that's an 8-channel amplifier, 12-channel DSP. I just looked at it the other day. Actually, I think it's down to 14 now, for like 1480 or some weird number like that. Anyway, so here we go. We buy one amplifier to 8-channel. Plenty of power. We've put tons of systems on it. All right. So we know it'll do the job. Now, budget build, right? So I go out and I buy a budget DSP for anywhere between $300 to $350, right? And I go out and I buy, let's say, a 4-channel amplifier and a mono block. So I'm looking at anywhere between $600 to $800. Okay, right? I mean, give or take. So maybe I get an amplifier for $250, $500. So $500, $850. So let's say anywhere between. So I buy these 3 pieces. Now I have to wire up 2 amplifiers and a DSP. I have to take up a bunch of room. Okay. I don't know what you're trying to run, but where does the discount come in with the price of wire? I got to buy distribution blocks. I got to buy all this stuff. So will it work? Yes. The Audio Dynamic uses the Chinese software that tons of 80% of these DSPs use. It's a solid piece of software. It'll do the job. And if you've already got amplifiers and you just want to add a DSP, you could look at the Audio Dynamics. You could look at the freaking Alpine. You could look at the Nakamichi. There's plenty of them. All right. And now, there again, the difference between an okay DSP and a higher end DSP is usually a couple $100. So if I look at like this DSP, let's say this would be $250 to $300. At $500, I can get into several smaller DSPs with better software, which honestly makes your job way freaking easier. So there's places to save money, and then there's places to not save money. What's up, Bill?
What's up, Bill?
I would really like think about getting the best DSP you can. But yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, I don't want to play with an entry level DSP. I really don't. Now that it just seems, it hurts my head. I'll do it. We do it, but it's like, man, not being able to do group adjust and not being able to like look at the whole oh my God, it's just,
you want more capability.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So
to adjust your speakers.
I want to have some good
everything. You want everything.
I want the world. I want the world.
You want the combo.
Yes, I want it to have everything.
Okay, so did we reply this?
How do you up? Yes, okay. Yeah, you got that one.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
All right,
that's
so
okay.
I got that one.
Hey guys.
Hey,
what's going on?
No.
I have a 2023 Silverado factory radio to an LC7i to a Kicker 1200 and 360.4. With the radio, does the radio lower the volume at a certain mile per hour? Thanks for... So that's a setting in the radio that you can turn on, which is drive volume control. Most factory radios have it. As you speed up, the volume increases. As you speed up, the volume down. Now, you said, does it turn the volume lower? No, it shouldn't be doing that so much. However, there are things that could give you the illusion of doing that. So... there's like loudness. The radio does have loudness, and that will, as you turn the volume up, it'll seem like the subwoofer is getting lower. It could also be a voltage thing with those amplifiers. Like, depending on the speed you're going, maybe the alternator, the voltage is changing and going down, in which case the amplifiers would get quieter. So the nice thing about the KXA amplifiers is that they have a huge voltage range that they're capable of playing on before they shut off. So there could be, like, without knowing the voltage of the car when it's driving, if the alternator is turning on and off, you could be hearing a difference there. So there are some things that could be happening. It could also be components are getting hot. That's a good question, but no.
I also agree with Melissa.
On a 2020 Chevy, ditch the LC7i and gets the access interface so the chime doesn't blow you out of the truck. 100% on that, because like we have a video where we show you base model audio, and it'll tame the chime for you, because the LC7i, when that thing,
especially without having some form of DSP. Because when that thing chimes, it goes ding. It's like wet your pants a little bit for sure. You know, a little tinkle, little tinkle. And speaking of audio control, did you know that audio control came out with 2 new lines of amplifiers?
2, not 1, 2. Okay,
that's right.
Wow.
This one right here. Do you know which one that is? This
is the ones that they are the altitude?
Yeah, they are reaching the skies, the altitude. This is the altitude 1100.5, 5 channels. Everyone loves 5-channel amplifiers, and audio control has the new one. And it looks really sexy. It looks really clean.
Very nice.
If you're interested in finding out more about audio control, you can head over to audiocontrol.com, or you can head to stingeroffroad.com where you can find your stuff to buy. You can just go on there and buy it, which is really cool. You know, there was one thing I wanted to do before. I'm going to shut this off for a second because I need to go here. Did you know that we are 65 days, 6 hours, and 52 minutes away from MasterTech
Christmas is coming?
From MasterTech Expo. We're 2-3 weeks away from Christmas.
Well, actually, this is almost kind of like the same excitement of Christmas.
It is the same excitement as Christmas because it is a big party.
If you haven't been into one of these events, you're missing out. So get ready because MasterTech Expo is coming again.
Coming to town. Now, the one nice thing about MasterTech Expo is anybody is welcome. Anybody is welcome. Anybody that wants to attend, they can attend. There's 2 pricing categories if you just want to walk around the outside and check things out, or if you want to get your learn on. So make sure if you want to attend classes, don't. Save a couple $100 and just attend for lunch, dinner, and the outside activities that will be happening, such as the build off and the clean wire challenge. So make sure you head over.
Stop the whole thing. Look who it is.
Oh, Mr. Markland.
Boom.
Also, the higher-end DSPs have better support and good firmware updates compared to a lot of the budget DSPs. This is true. This is true. But the reality of it is the cheaper DSPs really don't have complex software, so there's not much to update.
Right.
It's just kind of like, hey, here you go. What would be a good car stereo for a 2011 Chevy Corvette? Something with a shallow chassis, short chassis. So anything with a short chassis, anything Kenwood, JVC, short chassis radio, something that does not have a DVD CD player. And then head over to Metro and buy your kit. Because that's it. Now I'll tell you, the car is not fun to work on. It's not. It's not
super fun.
It's not fun to work on. But Metro has the parts, so just head over to metroonline.com. And if it's what I'm thinking about, you're gonna need an air saw. Because you got to cut.
When you finish, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to do this again."
You're gonna need a vacuum. Make sure you have a vacuum close by.
You
got to cut those aluminum rails, and then you got to vacuum it out because all the aluminum falls onto the computer. Any 3.5-inch mid-range you'd recommend as a general upgrade for a 2-way component system? Good price and performance. Actually, yes, we do. If you're looking for a 4-ohm set, I recommend Kenwood. Makes the C2 and the C3. It's a fantastic upgrade. They sound wonderful. If you're looking for something that has some sound to them. If you're looking for something that is definitely, I'm just going to say that. There you go. If you need something that's a lower ohm, like a 3-ohm or something like that, a little bit more to it, check out the audio controls. If you guys were putting a set of 6.5 components in your own personal vehicle, what would they be? Dean, Morel, which ones? Focal, or Fernando, Focal, which ones? So I have like several pairs of Elates
already. Haven't put in there.
That have not made it into my car at all. So
what would you want to try different?
So, and there again, this is a weird thing because I don't want to build anything because in my heart of hearts, I want a Supremo. You know, I would want the Supremo, but I also know they're not going to fit. I don't want to build a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll probably just stick with the Elates. And I have several versions of the Elates. So I'll be able to come up with a combination that's going to fit.
Now, I already tried the Focal K2s. So that will be the ones that I would put in my car. But now I want to try the Gladden. The Gladden speakers, the Pros.
Yeah.
Just to see how, you know,
Yeah.
the difference between those.
Yeah, because you had hybrids in there.
I have hybrids.
What about Utopias?
K2s. I mean, that we talking about, like,
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Oh no! Hey, let's call them right now.
Put some RS.
Hey, man.
Put the ARC RS in there.
Put the RS.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, hey,
Yeah.
I would try any speaker just because
I think the RS would be easier than the Supremo to fit
Correct.
in my car.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
There you go.
I don't know.
RS.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Mm.
And the RS are from
ARC.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, where else would it be? Has anyone used the kicker key for the DSP feed into a higher watt? Yeah, actually, people do it all the time. Yeah. So typically what they'll do, and this is, okay, so funny story. Years ago when the key first came out, before the key lock and the 500.1, when it was the 180.4, I was out at Kicker doing their training, and Aaron Malin got up there. Malin got up there, and he was talking about how you could feed it into a 4-channel amp, and I was just like, and I raised my hand, so who would do that? And they're like, well, why wouldn't you? And I was like, why would you? And they're like, I'm like, who's, I mean, why not just buy a DSP?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're like, at the time, you could buy a DSR1 and a key for about the same amount of money. I was like, just buy a DSP and put it into the amplifier and do it the right way. And they're like, well, what if somebody doesn't know how to do it? I'm like, well, freaking learn. But obviously,
hard.
I know, very harsh. So as time went on, I did, you know, some people would buy a key and they'd be like, man, I want more power. I love the way it sounds. And it's like, oh, okay, well then fine. It makes sense for you to do that. So yes, there has been people in the past that have done it. It works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. But yeah, it's all good.
Okay, so hang on.
Yep. Question about
Your 911, instead of replacing the 1000 gel
$1,000.
C6, why you just put like a 3-inch mid?
Okay, so there's actually a really good reason for that. First things first, in the C6 line, they don't make a 3-inch mid. Okay, so the C6 is comprised of a tweeter and a mid-range. That's it. Secondly, when we got into the car to listen to the car, because we did a sound demo on it, I needed to figure out what it was. I got in the car and he says, I absolutely hate these speakers. And I said, the tweeters. He says, yeah, they sound like crap. Come to find out, the original tweeter that was in there was a C6. And he didn't like it. It didn't sound good. It didn't do what he wanted. So they took out those and put the Bemas in. The Bema was supposedly the solution for the C6. Just made the situation worse. So at the end of the day, the tweeters, he was never happy with the tweeters. Those had to come out.
Well, he was never happy with the C6s.
No, it just didn't work for him.
Yeah.
He just did not like the way they sounded. So that's why we took those out, as opposed to putting a... Now, if he would have came in and said, I really like the way they sound, I'm not opposed to just putting in a mid-range. It would have saved a lot. I mean, it wouldn't have saved any time because we'd had to reinstall those.
Correct.
Those were installed like poo-poo. But that's why we didn't do that. So most of the time when you see stuff like that, there's usually a backstory to it. And it's great that you asked, because trust me,
that's what I'm saying.
when we first got into the car to listen to it, the first question I said was, what did they put in the dash? He goes, what do you mean? I said, up there. What's in that? He goes, they didn't do anything up there. They weren't even playing. And I was like, oh, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I was like, well, that's what we need. I said, the first thing we need to do is we need to add a mid-range into the front of the dash. He goes, I don't think that's the first thing we need to do. And I said, okay. So then we started listening to it, and he's like, this sucks. For sure. I was just curious. No, Mark, that was a fantastic question. There's a whole process of things that rattle around in my head as I'm going out to quote people and try to get to the core of it. Because you got to understand, like, when you look at somebody like that's spent, he already had like $6-7 that was already up. What's up, Jacob? He was already $6 or $7 into it. The thought of me telling, like, I honestly said to him, I said, look, man, I'm not going to be your friend. You're not going to be happy with me. Well, I know. And he's like,
it's funny.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's not a fan of jail. And I think that, what kind of subwoofer is that one?
I think it's a JBL.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. There's a J there. Yeah, but it's close. You were close. Couple extra one extra letter. It's amazing how one extra letter changes the world. Anyway, so I want to work with somebody to come up with the best solution to their problems. He had a Helix. He had all great stuff.
He had great stuff.
It just it was not firing on all 8 cylinders, man. It was just not doing what he wanted. I mean, we kept the stealth box.
Oh, see, I knew it. I love that one.
Yeah, of course. Nice. I mean,
I just want to bother
it's a 25, 30-year-old sub. I mean, how it's of course it's fantastic. But anyways, that's why we did that. So
yeah.
No, it was good. Good evening. Is there anyone that makes tweeter pods for 2015
Toyota Highlander?
Maybe not. So typically on the Toyotas, what we check first is to see if there's a JBL version of the vehicle. And that's usually where you get your tweeter pods from. The 4Runner has no tweeter pods, but the Highlander may, because every other vehicle does.
But Ada can make them.
Of course. Yes,
of
course
Ada
can make them. But typically where we start first is finding out if the JBL version of the car includes some kind of an A-pillar or sail panel. And that's what you would shoot for, as an A-pillar or sail panel. Sail panel's on the door, and the A-pillar is the big bar that runs up and down with the O-shit handle. And that's where we typically, if they make those, we buy those, because you can usually get them pretty reasonably priced on the internet. Question: how do you bypass the parking brake on the newer Kenwood X1 using Maestro? So in the Maestro programming, there is a way to tell it that there's an emergency to do them. I honestly, I've never done it. I tried to do it once, where you could go in and hit the magic button and it will bypass emergency brake. I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. Shaughnessy made a video a while back showing everyone how to do it, like years ago.
Yeah.
And Mark, even when Mark was alive, he's like, press this. And I go, it didn't work. He's like, I just ground the wire. I mean,
it's connected. And even it's Maestro, so I just connect the wire.
Yeah, I just connect the wire in the harness and call it a day. Because remember, when we're doing their new long harness, which I absolutely love, we also do the little plugs. So like we go from Maestro to Kenwood or Maestro to Sony, or whatever it is. You can easily do it right there at that little plug. But we are also cutting into the main harness, and we're adding an accessory, 12 volts and ground, as well as remote turn on. So we add those 4 wires to every harness we build. So it's real easy just to take care of that right there and then, and not even think about it. And let me tell you what, doing that has been a godsend. Like, man, it saves our butt so many times. It's so nice. It's so nice. What amplifier sounds better with Focal K2M speakers? Mosconi Pro or Helix? Mosconi Pro. Mosconi Pro is an AB class amplifier with big cojones. A Helix is not. So
it's a lot of power.
It's a lot of power. There is nothing like the sound of Mosconi Pro. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Love it. Love it. So much.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, come on. I mean,
you want to change it?
Mosconi Pros. No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Remember, we go to 10 after, so technically we have like 1 minute left. Do I need to change it? Yeah, I do. What? Oh, wait, hold on. Yes, because we don't have those anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was going to bring those.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, fellas.
Hey.
I have a Forza 5.11. Fantastic little amplifier. With the 6-channel companion amp pushing 3-way Audison Thesis in the front and a Voce 6 Navis coaxial in the rear. What benefit can I expect upgrading to Mosconi Pros? Way more power.
It's a 2023 Expedition.
Taking up a lot more room. These are big amplifiers, okay? So, I mean...
Hey, Ruben.
This is... So, you have 2 sizes. You have this size right here, which is the 30 size. So, your 830, your 430, your 230, your 530. So, they're all this big. Okay, so this is going to take, and they're all AB class amplifiers. They're not class D amplifiers.
So they all run a little warm. That's why you see these two red fans sitting right there going like, ooh, look at me. I'm a big fan. And then the mono amplifiers and their smaller 4 channels are these guys. So these are the smaller amps. So this is your 210, your 110, your 410, your 210 AB,
110.
So these are smaller. So like if you're looking at a 410 in this size, it's probably about the same amount of power you have now. So you'd want to go up to like an 830 or something that has a substantial bit of more power. Now, the difference between Class A, B, and Class D, well, that leaves it open to interpretation because there's plenty of amazing Class D amplifiers out there. And there's plenty of amazing Class A/B amplifiers out there. So that's a tough one. Now, the other thing, too, is totally different DSP software. Totally different DSP software. And if you were used to using like a Cordo or something like that to set it up or doing de-equalization, with the Mosconi, you're going to want to find somebody that has a Barney because that's how it is done through auto setup. Unless you, like myself, like to just do it the old-fashioned way, which is with a microphone and RTA and sit in the car and play notes and things and adjust it that way. But either way, there are ways to do it. So, Okay, moving on. Would run a battery isolator on a Tomo 12. An Atom 12. Oh my gosh.
We run a battery insulator and
so regardless of the power that you have a ton of power. The isolator should always be there if you're running extra batteries. You should always have some form of a way for the batteries to separate themselves when not being used. So when the car is off, you don't want your batteries to sit there and be able to mingle, so to speak. So an isolator is totally necessary so that the two batteries don't kill each other, which is essentially what would happen. The two batteries will wrestle themselves to death, and then you'll just have two batteries that suck. So always use an isolator of some kind, which in this case, mostly now the isolator isn't really an isolator. It just isolates. They're usually big switching relays. So an isolator was a totally different thing that used totally different piece of equipment. We don't use those anymore because they had giant diodes in them. We don't use those. Nobody uses that. Dean, Nando, should a key 200.4 lose its tune setup if the car battery is replaced? F-150 to be exact. Hell no. It should never lose its tune. Ever. Never, ever, ever should it ever lose its tune. The only way it should ever lose its tune is if you have the remote plugged in and somebody sits there and holds the button for 10 seconds and it goes, yep, and that's it. Other than that, no, it should not lose its tune. Now, the radio and the dash, if it's a factory radio, that can screw things up.
right.
If they flashed a vehicle or they did anything along those lines that changed the bass, mid, and treble in the radio, then yes. So that would screw up the tune. But the key itself should never lose its tune. I know, right? Yeah, battery being bad and shorting the amp, maybe. Even still, man. I don't know. Okay, I have a 21 RAM. What's the best pack controller to use the 4-speaker amp? I just upgraded all door speakers to 4-ohm. Killed the power of the stock head unit. Did it kill the power of the stock head unit, or did you have an amplified Alpine system in it? Because in the RAM that does not have the Alpine system in it, they're 4-ohm. The problem that you run into is that the 4-ohm drivers in the doors are typically a mid-bass / subwoofer, and most people replace those with like 2-ways, 3-ways, and 4-ways, which isn't going to sound that good because it's not what was in there from the factory. Or they put a tweeter in the dash as opposed to a 3.5 in the dash. Either way, if you're looking to improve the sound, there's a couple different things you can do. The pack controller you're looking at would be an Amp Pro, but then you'd have to go off to an amplifier. Keep in mind,
If it is the Alpine system, you may want to do something like a DSR1 or a PSM Pro that has a DSP built into it, or add some form of amplifier that's going to bring back Rebel, not powered. Okay, so
that shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm thinking we did different speakers that aren't working with it. So,
like you say, just put like a
put a
tweeter instead of like
hell, you can put a
3.5.
key, put a key 200.4 on the front of it and call it a day. I mean, that'll spice it up, make it sound good. Simple, easy upgrade. Just drop it in. Don't even have to go crazy. You can high level that out of that radio. I mean, I'd still do a Amp Pro on it. I'd do an Amp Pro and a key 200.4 on the front. Screw the rears. But if you need to keep the rears, then the Amp Pro is not going to work. You can do a key lock and a 200.4, but Anyways, speaking of small amplifiers, did you know Mosconi is coming out with all updated Pico series amplifiers?
Brand new ones?
Yeah, so you have the new Pico 1001. It's going to match the 800, the 6 to 8 and the 8 to 8 or 8 to 10. And then they have the new 4 to 8 that's coming out. The 4 to 8 I'm excited about.
Why?
Because it's a lot of power and it's a 4 to 8. So my thinking is right now it's a TBA on the pricing, but it's that compact size with a 4 to 8 DSP built into it.
Everything is going to be the same size.
4-channel DSP, compact, lots of power. 4 channels of power, 8 channels DSP. A lot of the systems we've been doing, like we want to go fully active. We want to go fully active DSP. Okay, compact size, and then we put like a P300 or a Comp RT amplifier on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, front stage upgrade with a Mosconi DSP. How exciting is that? If that sounds exciting to you, make sure to head on to Mosconi-Americans.com or Gladen.com to get more information on these new products. Make sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook.
That's right.
Boom.
Yeah, claro que sí. Mañana puedes llamar.
Is that having fun in the comments? Yeah, that is having fun in the comments. Did Stinger discontinue 9000 series RCAs? Probably. I don't doubt it for a minute. Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't sell, they see you. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Key 244 question. Originally installed, may have jacked it up. Kicker mic came in the mail, so I will do a retune. Make sure to hold the mic to get it to reset. The owner's listen. I always download the owner's manual because the little piece of paper they give you, and I always forget. So, yeah, you just hold it for like 10 seconds, makes a bunch of noise, and then you make sure to play pink noise. Hit the mic again, and it'll go beep beep beep. You got like 10 or 15 seconds to get out, and then it does the happy noise when it's done.
Yes.
Hi there from New Zealand. Can you explain amp versus DSP? Do you need both, or can you just use DSP to power and tune your speakers? Okay, that is a wonderful question, and I guess we have to think about this as 3 boxes. Okay, 3 boxes.
Why 3 boxes?
Because you have straight power amplifier, which is just an amplifier with a power rating. To keep this simple, we'll just say a 4-channel amplifier.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's going to be 4 by X amount of power.
Sure.
Okay, that is a straight power amplifier. It may have high level, it may have low level inputs, so it's designed to integrate into some form of a system. Then you have a DSP. A DSP is a tool that is designed to go between a source unit and an amplifier.
So a standalone DSP.
So a standalone DSP is designed to go between the source unit and the amplifier. It does not have any power. It is a line level or a high level to line level or digital. Either way, it does not have amplification built into it. It has no wattage rating. So it is just merely a box that has all of the tools in it to improve the sound.
Yeah.
Then you have a DSP amplifier, such as the Picos, for example, that have the full standalone DSP as well as the standalone amplifier combined into one box. those will give you a wattage rating. So like, let's say 50 by 4 or whatever. And they will also give you a channel rating. So what we say, something like a 4 to 8 or an 8 to 12 or an 8 to 10 or a 6 to 10. The first number is the wattage channels that are inside of the amplifier.
Okay.
The second number is the total amount of DSP channels. So when you say something like an 8 to 12, that means that amplifier has 8 channels of power, 12 channels of DSP. You subtract the two numbers, which is 4, and that gives you your preamp output. This guy right here is an
8 to 10?
6 to 10?
8 to 10.
This is an 8 to 10. So that means it's got 8 channels of internal power and 2 channels of RC output. Now you say, why would I need that? Well, in this case, this is really good for highs. This is also really good for highs. And the smaller wattage that they have are not necessarily designed to drive bigger subwoofers. So you want those subwoofer, those outputs that you can use the DSP internally to direct those to provide a signal for your subwoofer standalone amplifier. There's only not even a handful. There's very few subwoofer amplifiers that have DSPs built into them, because most of the time you're going to do a DSP amplifier. So, in your question, if you wanted to do a tune, so to speak, you'd want to look at something that had a DSP built into the amplifier. Then yes, you could then do the tune. So, Arc Audio Blackbird, Pico from Mosconi. We talked about Audison earlier in the show. The Forzas. We talked about Helix earlier in the show. So those are all manufacturers that make DSP amplifiers.
JBL has
really basic.
So everybody has one right now. Yeah.
Oh wow. Bobby says, Dean, I found out the heat gun sucks for bending ABS plastic. Torch for the wind. Okay, so to be fair, Bobby, the difference between using a heat gun, you got to have a good heat gun first off. You might, but it takes a lot longer. The benefits of the heat gun are you don't.
It's cleaner.
You don't
it's
torch
a cleaner
the plastic.
Look.
Yeah,
I use a lot the heat gun because it looks better. It doesn't. It doesn't look like like actually you heating up the whole ABS plastic. So it takes longer for sure. But it's better.
A new tool that we're working on, though, Bobby. This is not a hair straightener.
It is.
This is not a hair straightener.
So if you go here...
No, you do not.
You kind of like straighten your hair.
This is a new tool we've been playing with. You guys will learn more about this later.
Yeah. But you did it. And it came out really good. You did a pretty good job, man.
Bobby?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, he sent me a picture of his fuse mount. Like an S-band. That was really cool.
Yeah. So very nice. Precision.
Arturo!
Hola. ¿Cómo está? Welcome to the show. Hola. Hi.
What up, buddy? Looking forward to see him. I don't know where. But I'm looking forward to see him.
You never know with Arturo. It's always a
He's always struggling.
Flexi bender does work really well for ABS too.
Yeah.
Yep. And one of these days we'll get to use our very expensive one that we have sitting up front. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Everything is a tool. I still remember when Lance.
I mean, everybody is a tool. I mean,
I'm a tool.
So, what is your take on buying audio from Crutchfield? There again. So here's I had a
Don't
customer.
Say nothing because
no.
Mary Lou is gonna come and just like.
No. Here's the thing. I had a customer come in today that had watched a bunch of videos from us, and he was going to go to Crutchfield and he's going to buy some stuff, and then he watched the 911 video and he's like, no, I'm done, I'm not going to do it. So he came by and he was like, all right, before I do anything, I wanted to talk to you. I said, that's fine, cool, thanks. And the reality is this: you need, I said, I gave him my water heater speech. Okay, I don't know anything about water heaters.
Okay,
but my wife calls and tells me, Sue calls and tells me, hey, the water heater broke, and I go, okay, so I have a couple choices. One of them is to spend all day Sunday in the Lowe's or Home Depot section where there's water heaters and read and learn everything there is to know about water heaters. Okay. And then spend all day dicking with the water heater, or talk to my friends, find out who they use as a plumber and that they like, and then call that guy and say, hey, my water heater broke. And he'll be like, okay, I'll come out and put a new water heater in. And then he comes out and he puts a new water heater in. And I pay him money to do it because he's the expert. And I don't have to worry about it. If it breaks, I call him back and say, hey, man. He goes, no problem. I'll be out there. Which he did, because apparently where I live, we have severe pressure issues. And so I had to get a reservoir tank put on it to deal with back pressure because it was leaking. And he was like, well, no problem. We can fix that. But my point is I don't know anything about water heaters. I don't want to know anything about water heaters. I want hot water. Okay. And so to claim I don't want to be an expert in this field. As a hobbyist for car audio, you guys know a lot. But as somebody that just I want my car to sound better. Okay. You need somebody that can direct you to, that ask questions that you answer. And if Crutchfield can do that for you, then why would you not use them?
Yeah.
Okay. But you have to have somebody, one, you can trust to deliver on whatever it is you are hoping to get. And you have to be, questions are important. I tell, look, you can ask me as many questions you want until we start the car. And at that point, it's too late because we've already made a decision. We've already picked. We're going. It's going to happen.
What I would add with that is yes, go to Crutchfield. They have a lot of people working in there that they can help you with something. But also, go to some of these car audio shops. If you have local car audio shops, go around, ask some questions because, you might get the answer that you want from multiple people, and then you come out with okay, this is what I want to do, right? Because if you go with one place only, sometimes it's not the right place, So do your research, see if it makes sense for you, and then But no, Crutchfield is good if you want to see some car audio.
Mike, just start a fire in the install bay, bro.
Why?
I mean, because his heater's broke. Now he's having to learn how to fix oil heaters.
He doesn't need heater.
I mean, no, it's just snow.
He's in Boston.
Yeah, it's not cold. Don't be such a wussy, Mike.
Dude.
Don't be such a wussy.
Just get some coffee and done.
Where's my 10 millimeter?
All right, so hang on.
Hey, everyone is an expert. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm an expert.
Oh, is it Arturo's birthday? Because Lance just said, happy birthday, Art. Is it Arturo? Happy birthday
to
Arturo! Happy birthday! We're so happy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You sound like a Muppet, but you are not one.
Happy birthday to you. Okay,
happy birthday to you.
Here we go.
Okay, last question. My internet went down for a second, and I don't know if you answered my question or not, but aside from the DSP Mini, is all DSP software Windows-based? If so, why? Thank you. No, not all DSP software is Windows-based. JL Audio and Audio Control both make a Mac version of their software. This is a question I ask every single manufacturer. Why are we not Mac compatible, considering, and they all give me a really crappy answer. And I go, okay, that's a lie. And honestly, I've not been able to get a good answer from any manufacturer. Hell, even some of the manufacturers use Macs primarily and have to bust out their Windows computer to do their DSP software, which is hilarious. I think it's just lazy. And it's expensive, or at least that's what they say. So I don't know. I'm perfectly fine with it at this point. I pull out that relic and I just tune a car. I hate it. I'm not going to lie. No, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate having to use a Windows machine to do something I love. It just aggravates the crap out of me because I just don't know how to use the machines. And they always do something stupid. And so, I don't like it. But no one can give me a good reason. They always come up with some crap that doesn't. It's like, ugh, you guys, they suck. But that's okay. It's okay because
It's that time of the day again where we get to thank the fans, for tuning in and asking great questions. I love it when you guys do that. It makes the night go by, and well, it's fun. It's fun. It's so nice to get back to doing this. If all goes well, and I don't kill anybody between now and Saturday, we'll be back on Saturday answering more questions. I'd like to give a big thank you to our sponsors, Audio Control at audiocontrol.com. Arc Audio, stay tuned for 5 months of fun and excitement coming your way. New products every month. Oh my God. I can't wait to see what they have in store. Bag lids are this month, so if you're a Harley guy, if you go to their arcaudio.com, you can see the new Harley bag lids that they just came out with for the Moto 6x9s. Oh, they look so sexy. As well as our good friends at Mosconi Gladen, MosconiAmerica.com, as well as Focal-America.com, where you can find some of the best speakers made by the French, German, and Italians.
That's right.
All over the place.
Audio Control.
I did them first.
Okay.
But that's okay. Thanks for paying attention.
Sure.
And, of course, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we go live and talk about fun stuff throughout the week. And if you don't want to follow us on Instagram, just watch the 5 minutes of 5-star recap every Monday, and there you go. And also, if you like podcasts, because who doesn't like a podcast, Brian Mitchell and myself do Car Stereo Talk with Dean and Brian. You can catch new episodes every Sunday night on my Facebook page, on Brian's Facebook page, or just head over to Apple, in that little podcast, Apple Podcast, and they're there to be had, or you can find them on Podbean. That's it. That's all we got. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week full of excitement. Hopefully not. But that's it.
Bye, guys.
Go forth, be merry. Bye.